Hello students, I welcome you all for Pramana PU College online classes. Myself Vinod Kumar. I am also a part of the physics department. I am working as a lecturer in physics since from last 4 years in this Pramana PU College. And at present for the today's session, I would like to start the concepts of physics for first year, and I am going to discuss the first chapter, that is physical world. See, what are the topics we are going to study in this chapter, physical world? So remember, we are going to study in this chapter what is the meaning of science and what is the way to understand the science. And next we are going to study about the definition of physics. And next, what is the scope and excitement of physics. Next we are going to study about what is the importance of this physics for the development of technology and even for the impact of human civilization, or what is the importance of this physics on the society. And even we are going to study what are the approaches for studying the physics, and even we are going to study some of the basic forces in the nature, and thereby the chapter will completes. So very simple chapter. It is an introduction chapter for your PUC first year syllabus. Not only for first year, even it becomes one introduction part for the first year syllabus as well as for the second year syllabus. So we shall begin our chapter 1, physical world. Already you know what is the weightage of this chapter, which is very simple chapter, and this chapter has got a weightage of only 2 marks in the main examination. But the thing is clear, don't go through according to the importance of the marks. So ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಅದರ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಓದುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸೂಕ್ತ ಅಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, ಸೊ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಟಿವ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್, for gaining the knowledge purpose. So try to remember what are the concepts we are going to cover in this chapter, physical world. So these are the this chapter is the connectivity to understand the several branches, or to study some several branches of physics. So without wasting our time, we shall begin our class with this topic and with the headline science. So you all are chosen the course science, so you are happy with that. So some of you might be chosen because of your ambitions to go for some several courses for your further studies, and some of you might be chosen for your parents' purpose, some of you might be chosen because of your friends' purpose. So reasons are so many, but anyhow you are belonging to the science. Being a science students, it is quite important to know what is the meaning of word science. So ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, so you are belonging to the science means, so you have to know the meaning of that word science. ನೀವು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂದಾಗ, ಸೊ ಆ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಶಬ್ದದ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಪದ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು, ಅದರ ಬಳಕೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಈ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್. So generally, science is nothing but it is the systematic study of nature and natural phenomena. So that we call as science. ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವಿದ್ಯಮಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಮ್? ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್ came from the Latin word, that is scientia. So what is the meaning of this scientia means? Scientia means to know. ಸೊ ಸೈನ್ಷಿಯಾ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಶಬ್ದದಿಂದ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಪದ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸೈನ್ಷಿಯಾ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಷಿಯಾ? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ನೋ. ಸೊ ಟು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ನೇಚರ್, natural phenomena. So how to know the nature and natural phenomena? Is it very simple? So what is the methodology to understand this science? So there are some several particular methods in order to study some natural phenomenon, in order to know some natural phenomenon, and in order to acquire the knowledge of science, we have to follow some of the procedures. Those systematic procedures are made as scientific method. So systematic procedure ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನಾವು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ ಮೆಥಡಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ವಿಧಾನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಮೆಥಡ್? ಸೊ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ is require some particular procedure. So what is that procedure we call? That procedure we call as scientific method. So what is this scientific method is involved? So scientific method comprises some following steps, and I have already highlighted on this board. So if you want to take these points, means just you can have a screenshot of this video, and later on you can note about all the meanings of this word science and what is the scientific method and all. So scientific method involves some procedures. What is that procedure? Making systematic observation. Second one, controlled experiments using proper reasons. So what scientific method involves? So scientific method, what is this method tells us? In order to understand the science, in order to acquire the knowledge of science, we have to begin the study with the scientific method. So what is this method comprises, or what is this method involving? This method involving making systematic observation. Second one, controlled experiments using proper reasons. The third one, taking the help of certain models. Fourth one, making theoretical calculations for prediction, verification or falsification of theories. ಈ ಒಂದು 4 ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೈನ್ಸಿನ ಫೆನಾಮಿನವನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಆ ಫೆನಾಮಿನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಥೇರಿ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ನಿಯಮವನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾರ್ಪಾಡು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಯು. ಸೇ ಒನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. ಸಿ Newton, when he was observing the apple tree, and he found that the apple is fall down, and by that he observed the same phenomena for several times by taking some different conditions. So that will comes under what? Making systematic observation. And remember, suppose if we people are there, means apple we can aim, so just we will take that apple and we are going to have it. But Newton did not done this one. Instead of doing this, he had started realizing why so apple is fall down. What is the reason behind it? So he made some systematic observation. So by that observation, he took some experimental support in order to explain that why is apple fall down. So why it is coming towards the earth from the tree. So like this, he took the controlled experiments using some proper reasons. In order to explain this observation, he took one experiment, and by that experiment, with the help of some reasons, he is going to realize his theory, or he is going to prove his theory. So next, taking help of certain models. So taking the help of certain models means, what are the some other basic laws of this nature which supports in order to fall down that apple towards the earth, or attracting that apple towards the earth. So regarding that, he is taking some help of certain models, and finally making theoretical calculations. So whatever the observation he done, so with respect to that observation, whatever he is going to do experiment, so he has to match his experimental observation with some calculations. He has to match his experimental observation with respect to the what? Theoretical calculations, means with respect to its systematic observations. So once he proved the mathematical calculations or mathematical theoretical calculation, so this theoretical calculation, if it matches with his systematic observation, if it satisfies experimental result, then we say that this theory is a verified theory. Verification will be there. And if this verification completes, then such theory is a final theory. Suppose if the making theoretical calculation is failed. So he is unable to predict theoretically his theory means, then such theory is nothing but the what? Falsified theory. So clearly, once if you look at this example, that is nothing but Newton's invention of gravity by the observation of falling of apple towards the earth. So from this observation, he took that the invention of gravity. How he took the invention of gravity means, so with the help of the scientific method, with the approach of scientific method. So it means clearly we can say that, so to understand the science, not only observation is sufficient. So or else not only experiment is sufficient. So or else not only the calculation is sufficient. So it means to observe any natural phenomena or to understand any natural phenomena, we have to require all these 4 steps clearly. So mainly here the observation, that is nothing but developing the theory as well as making its experiments. Experimentally proof of that theory is very, very important. In the same way, Newton invented the what? Gravitation by applying this method only. And universal of gravitation and about the property of the one of the property of the earth, that is nothing but gravity. Because of the gravity, that apple is get attracted towards the earth. In order to conclude this, he did several observation, he conducted experiment, he took some basic models, and then he gave some reasons for his theory, and he did theoretical calculation. Finally, he succeeded to propose his theory of gravity, that is nothing but what? Universal law of gravitation. So by the invention of a concept of gravity. So like this is about a scientific method. But anyhow, science is nothing but the what? A complex study it is. To understand the science is not an easy thing, and it is a very complex study. So it was called as a natural philosophy. Then it is found very difficult for the study of this science. Why? Because as the day by day, the concepts are gone added to the field of science. So it becomes what? Quite difficult to study science as a one single aspect. So because of this reason, our scientists, they made some branches to this science, and generally very simple branches we can make science as physical science and biological science. Science is classified as what? Biological science as well as physical science. So science na ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ನಿಯಮಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮಾಡೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ನಿಯಮಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳ ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದರು, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಸೊ ಆ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಒಂದು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು 2 ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ತೊಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಬಾಟ್ನಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಝಾಲಜಿ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. So but for our present class, our discussion is with physics, not with the what chemistry or not with the biological science. So therefore, for the physics is concerned, first we have to go through this study of physics. And what is the meaning of physics? From which language is this word physics has been derived? And later on, in some of the chemistry class and biological class, already you might be knowing about the information regarding what is chemistry and what is biology. Okay, so now I am going to explain what you mean by physical science. So physical science is purely a study of physics as well as chemistry. And here physics is nothing but the what? A word which is derived from the Greek word. Its meaning is nothing but the what? Physis. From the word physis, the physics word has been derived. ಸೊ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪದ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಫ್ಯೂಸಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ಶಬ್ದದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಫ್ಯೂಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೇಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಫ್ಯೂಸಿಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ನೇಚರ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ವಾಟ್? ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಆಫ್ ನೇಚರ್. Suppose if I say only study of nature, it cannot fulfill the definition of physics. Now we shall see what is the definition of physics. So physics is nothing but the what? The word which is derived from the Greek language, that is Greek word physis. So physics is derived from the Greek word physis. Meaning of this word physis is nothing but nature. So what is physics? See, what is physics? Physics andre ಏನು? ಸೊ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್? ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ದಿ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್, and what is the meaning of science? What is the definition of science, you know? And to understand meaning of science is to know. So it means to acquire the knowledge of which nature, this universe, natural phenomenon. So how to understand this nature and natural phenomena? So in order to understand this nature and natural phenomena, we have to follow scientific procedures, and that scientific procedures we call as scientific method. So this scientific method is very important, because for the development of science, scientific methodology approach of studying the natural phenomena is very, very important. So I told you one example how gravity, invention of gravity was done by the person Newton by his systematic observation. So already you know regarding that. So next we made the classification for science. Science has classified into some two branches. One is physical science and another one is biological science, and there you got to know what you mean by what are the branches of physical science and what are the branches of biological science. So I have highlighted here physical science branches as physics and chemistry. And what is physics means, I told you it is the word derived from the Latin language from as a physis. Physis is nothing but the what? The actual meaning of word physics, and it is derived from the Greek language, and its meaning is nature. So nature means the study of this nature is nothing but physics, we can say indirectly. But if I took at the exact definition, so what is the exact definition if I take? So what is physics? So physics is a study of nature and natural laws and their applications in different natural phenomena. So physics means what? It is the study of nature and natural laws and their applications in the different natural phenomena. So physics is nothing but the what? the study of the nature as well as some basic laws of nature. And what is the use of those basic laws of nature in the explanation of some several natural phenomena? So that we are going to study under concept of physics. Next, what is the physics we call before the 19th century? Generally, the old one, physics was old before the 19th century, and that old physics we call it as classical physics. And after the 19th century, whatever the concepts of physics are developed till today, it will all comes under modern physics. So we have a that is a two classes we can make here, or two classification we can give. So first one is classical physics and another one is modern physics. So if you take a classical physics, your mechanics, optics, heat and thermodynamics, so laws of electricity and magnetism, and concept of sounds, concept of waves, and next concept of this one, the concepts are dealt with the what? Basic laws of electricity and magnetism. So all these concepts will comes under the what? Classical physics, and many more. So still we can have so many branches. Electrodynamics antide, electrostatics antide. So these are all nothing but some several branches of physics, and all these branches of physics are dealt with classical physics. And the physics which developed later after the 19th century onwards, we call that physics as modern physics. In modern physics, you are going to study about a microscopic concepts. In case of classical physics, you are going to study about macroscopic objects. So macroscopic objects means the large objects are taken into the consideration. So whereas microscopic means, so you are going to study up to the scale of electrons as well as proton, neutron, and even nucleus and atom. So classical physics is dealt with study of macroscopic phenomena, and here it is, and even macroscopic phenomena, and even also it involves about the macroscopic objects. So it involves about gravitation, it involves about study of Newton's laws of motion, it involves the study of some that is our solar system. So all that comes under the what? Classical physics. And modern physics is dealt with the what? The pure study of atoms, structure of nucleus and atomic particles, and even it involves the study of lasers, it involves the study of nanotechnology and many more. So still many more concepts are there in the modern physics, and this is the some simple way how I can say that what physics before the 19th century we call, and what physics later 19th century we can call. So generally we have two classes, one is classical physics, another one is modern physics. In classical physics you are going to study mechanics, optics, electrodynamics, heat and thermodynamics, next basics of electricity and magnetism. So still many more concepts you are going to study in the classical physics. If you come to the modern physics, you study about atomic physics. Modern physics is also called as atomic physics. You study about atoms, you study about nucleus, you study about the phenomenon dealt with the nucleus, that is radioactivity, and even you can also study about the working of lasers, working of nanotechnology, and many more. So next we look at the next concept of this, that is, what is the scope of the physics? Scope of physics. Scope and excitement of physics. Scope and excitement of physics. So what we are going to study under the topic scope. Scope and excitement of physics. ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಸೊ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸಿನ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ, ಭೌತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ. ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಗಿದೆ ಈ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸೈಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಭೌತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಉತ್ಸಾಹಭರಿತವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ. ಸೊ ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು excite while studying the physics? So what is that speciality there in the physics? So in order to understand that, once we have to look at its various subdisciplines. So I told you that just now only, so physics covers so many branches, that is I told you so many branches. So really once if you observe its branches or its various sectors, then you can really say that physics is nothing but the what? It is so broad study, and it is nothing but the what? Having the complex concepts are dealt with the physics, and all the phenomena we can able to answer by studying the physics. And to understand the science or to improve the knowledge of science, so it will begins by understanding physics only. So hence, to acquire the knowledge of science, one has to study the physics, and by the way of by the study of physics we can able to understand the concepts of science. So therefore, here scope and excitement of physics. Really, scope of physics is very vast. Why? Because it covers so many several branches. It able to give the answers for the macroscopic phenomena. It can also give the what? Explanation for microscopic phenomena. If I say like this, you can't understand anything. So one example I would like to give you. See, physics can study the what? The physical quantity length. So length is nothing but the physical quantity. So physics can study the what? A length. So from physics we can study the what? So many physical quantities. Generally, what are physical quantities? The measurable quantities are called as physical quantity. The any quantity, it can be measurable. If it is subjected for measurement, we call it as physical quantity. So scope of physics means the scope of physics is very vast. It is very wide subject. So to understand this wide subject, really it is a very exciting one to understand this physics. Why? Because physics has an answer in order to explain the phenomena even for a small scale, even for the what? A very large scale. Generally, if I take the one example here specifically, physics can give the answer for the study of the length up to the what? A 10 to the power of 26 meter. So this 10 to the power of 26 meter is nothing but the what? Extension of this universe. Physics can give the answer for the extension of this universe. So that is the reason. So physics is nothing but the what? A wide aspect of science. So because it covers the what? A very large, that is a scale of measurements. So here we can say that it covers the measurement of length up to the 10 to the power of 26 meter. Even it can also answer for the what? The 10 raised to minus 15 meter. So this is nothing but size of the nucleus. Even physics can give the answer for size of nucleus. So nucleus is nothing but the what? It is the part of an atom which is located at the center part of an atom. So what is the size? Atom itself is invisible, but in that nucleus is so small and situated at the center. So definitely such a nucleus size is established by the physics. That is 10 raised to minus 15 meter. Not only it studies length to the larger extent, even if you take mass, so study of mass, even it studies the what? The mass up to the what? Mass of the universe, that is 10 raised to 55 kg. So physics can give the answer for mass of this universe. So that is 10 raised to 55 kg. And even to the what? A mass of microscopic particles such as 10 raised to minus 30 kg for electrons. So like this, so 10 raised to minus 30 kg for the electron. So definitely physics is exciting in many ways. Why? Because if you look at its various phenomena, ಇದು ಒಂದು ಲೆಂತ್ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾವು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸಿಂದ ಈ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಲೆಂತನ್ನು ನಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಿಂದ ತಿಳಿಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಸ್, ಈ ಒಂದು ನೋನ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಈಸ್ 10 raised to 55 kg. Such a largest measurement of mass it is 10 raised to 55 kg, and only it accounts if you study physics. Physics can give the answer for the mass of this whole universe, and even physics can also give the answer for what? The mass of some atomic particles such as electrons, protons in the range, nearly range up to the 10 raised to minus 30 kg. Even it can also study the water, the times, even it can also study the various phenomena at very small duration of time to the water, certain very large duration of time. So even it can also study about the water planets, and even it can study about the extension of this universe and all the planets. So it is not a simple one. So that is the reason that physics has got so much concepts, and all the concepts are so exciting. Why? Because as one theory develops, that theory becomes the what? Improves the experimentation, and that experimentation will give you the what? So results, and that experiment itself becomes the what? As an observation of that experiment improves, it gives some detailed, that is a concepts, further the developments of theories in the physics. So it means no theory is final one. So that theory is not to be considered as final, because once theory is developed, further we can able to continue it with the help of that theory into some invention of new theories. One example I would like to give you: no theory is final in science. Why? Because actually heliocentric model, Nicholas proposed the what? This one heliocentric theory. So according to the what? Nicolaus Copernicus, he proposed the heliocentric model. According to heliocentric model, all the planets are revolving around the sun in circular orbit. It was the theory. But observations are carried by some other person, that is Johannes Kepler, with the help of Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe was an observer. He collected the data regarding the what? Planetary motion. So as an observation develops on some particular theory, it gives to the invention of some new theory. So then finally the Johannes Kepler's theory came into the existence. Why? Because all the planets are revolving in a circular orbit, but circular orbit is not so correctly, that is satisfying the experimental conclusions. So it must be replaced as elliptical orbit. So then Kepler said that circular orbits are not correct condition for the practical observation. So correctly he replaced it as elliptical orbits, and today final theory is nothing but this Kepler's planetary motion. So Kepler's theory only, it is the final theory in order to explain about the planetary motion. So like that, so one theory, if it is not a final one theory itself is not a final one. So as an observation improves on that theory, experiments will come. So to carry the experiments for everyone, it is so exciting to unlock the secrets of this nature, or to know the facts of this nature. Really physics is an exciting one, I can say. With this, today I am going to conclude my class, and in my next class I would like to take the further concepts of this chapter, that is physical world, in a simple way. What we discussed in today's class: what do you mean by science, what is the way to understand, to acquire the knowledge of science, that is scientific method, what are the procedures we require in scientific method, and next I told you about the what? The meaning of physics, from which language the word physics has been derived, and what is the physics we call before 19th century, and what is the physics we call after the 19th century, that is classical physics and modern physics, and why physics is, what is the scope of this physics. So really it explains the what? A phenomenon of microscopic to the what? Macroscopic. So because physics has got its wide range, hence its scope is very vast. So thereby you got to know why physics is so wide, because the concepts dealt with the physics are so wide range. So it can take the physical quantities to the what? Very long ranges. If you take length, or you can take mass, you can take time. So that is the reason physics has got a wide range of phenomenon coverage, and even we can also say that exciting in many ways, because to study some secrets of this nature, so we can able to carry out some experiments, and to carry out these experiments observation is required, and this observation is nothing but the what? It is the way of understanding the what? Science, and thereby we are going to have a what? Concept of the concept of excitement of physics, and later on we have a concept of this physics, technology and society. So what is the use of this physics to the technology, and what is the use of physics to the development of this society? So that one and fundamental force I am going to discuss in my next class. So try to go through this video and try to understand the concept, some basic concepts of science and physics. Okay, so thank you.